Hello guys, this is your friend and we are back with a new fanfic. Sakura was looking at Sasuke with hearts all over the place. Sasuke turned around with a HN and ignored her. But in the inside he was scared that she was going to rape him while their sensei wasn't here. Where are they? I know that Kakashi is always late, but where's Naruto? Sasuke was panicking in the inside. Then all of a sudden a puff of smoke came. When the smoke cleared, Kakashi was the only one there. Yo! How yo? Kakashi was unable to finish until a bands. Sakura shouted, You! Late. Those that were not ninjas all lost their ability to hear for a few hours. Ha ha ha, sorry, I was lost in the path of life, Kakashi said. Then Kakashi noticed that the unpredictable ninja wasn't here. And asked, Where's Naruto? That baka's probably sleeping in his house. I swear he should just give up being ninja, he's useless. Sakura was ranting on about how Naruto was annoying, that she didn't realize the hateful glares being sent by Sasuke. Sasuke was about to say something, but then Naruto came to the training grounds, and he looked away trying to hide his blush. Naruto baka, but she wasn't able to finish because Naruto was holding her by the neck and said, Shut up, howler monkey. Now everyone being shocked was an understatement. Naruto of all people told Sakura, the girl he was crushing, to shut up, and not only that, called her a howler monkey. Both Kakashi and Sasuke were trying not to laughing with the new name Sakura was given. But Kakashi composed himself and asked what was going on to Naruto. All he got was a scoff and he left. Kakashi, not wanting to waste any more time from his porn, just ignored him and told everyone to leave, that today was a day off. Uchiha POV. I was glad that there was a day off, but what I was more worried about was Naruto. Something seemed off about him other than the fact that he insulted Sakura and wasn't his hyperactive self, I thought. Then Sakura came and blocked my path and said, Sasuke-kun, let's go out. There's this new restaurant that opened, I heard it has good food there. No, instead of asking me to a date, can't you start training? You are the weakest in this team, I told her in a cold voice. She was depressed and started ranting about how this was all Naruto's fault. Grr, stupid fangirls, can't she sees that I don't want to go out with her? I mean, I'm a girl, for God's sake, and I do not roll that way. And stop bad mouthing Naruto-kun. I wish Naruto-kun would ask me out, I thought. Yes, Sasuke is a girl and her name is Satsuki, and yes, she likes Naruto. After all, Naruto is the same as her, who understands what it's like to be alone. Although she knew what having a family is like, he didn't and wanted to help him. She even tried to tell him her secret that Sasuke doesn't exist and tell him her feelings. But she always freezes up and gets lost in his big bright blue eyes and end up calling him a dope and a weakling, which she cursed herself later for acting like that in front of him. All right, time to go stalk, escort Naruto to his house. Satsuki thought. And yes, she stalks Naruto and does it better than Hinata, and even getting rid of the mobs that went after him, unlike a certain Hyuga. Also, she hates Hinata. One time Satsuki got irritated by Hinata stalking Naruto. She knocked her out and hung her in the class. And she was proud of it. And Hinata is still alive, to Satsuki's disappointment, but she's scared to go near Naruto now. Satsuki was behind some buildings and watching Naruto. She looked at her surroundings in case there were any fangirls. She followed Naruto to the point where she waited for him to finish his one bowl of ramen, which was odd since he ate like 72 bowls a day and she would know. And then she followed him to his broken apartment, which she was sad that he had to live in that house all by himself. Don't worry, Naruto-kun, you won't be living there anymore, you'll be living with me soon and then we can have a family and be happy, Satsuki thought. Then Satsuki had a disgusted feeling. I can't believe I said that while in my male form. Naruto is not like that. Satsuki kicked herself mentally for even thinking like that in her male form. When Naruto went in his house, she went to her house thinking how disgusted she was at her thoughts. Without realizing that a pair of sapphire eyes were watching her. Naruto's POV. Is that Sasuke? What's emo bastard doing here? Did he come to make fun of me or something? Naruto thought as he looked at the retreating figure of Sasuke. Almost feels like he was stalking me like Hinata freak, Naruto said out loud. Yes, Naruto realized Hinata was stalking him. At first he thought it was good that at least one girl liked him, but after like 4 years of stalking him he got irritated and avoided her at all cost, so he went to places that Hinata would not follow her, like the men's only hot spring, but no matter where he went she kept stalking him, though there was that one time he had the whole day to himself with no stalker and he wondered why. That is until he went to the academy the next day and saw the reason Hinata was tied up with a note that said, "I am a pervert." Since then Naruto was happy, whoever did that was his god or goddess since he doesn't know who his savior was. He also hates Hinata because she is from the Hyuga clan. The Hyuga clan showed no mercy to him when he was a child, they usually used their diseased eye to find his hiding spot and their crazy taijutsu. Not only that, they used his prank he pulled on them as a means of treat to them and used that as an excuse to attack him. Ah, whatever, that Tem can do what he wants, I bet he just came here to try and take a technique from me to go on his stupid revenge. Naruto said out loud, then went to the kitchen and made instant ramen. When he finished he threw the cup somewhere and went to his bed and went to sleep. Normal POV. Satsuki woke up to the sound of her alarm clock. She didn't want to wake up until she saw her Naruto plushie she made. She shot up from the bed and ran to get dressed. She wanted to go early so that she could greet Naruto like she always does. She had a hard time choosing which clothes she should wear that would make Naruto notice her. There was a black shirt with the Uchiha symbol and then there was the orange one that had the Uchiha symbol in the back and 2 spirals on the sleeves. I know Naruto likes orange, but then people will know that I'm a girl and then there's a chance that I'll get fanboys and then. Satsuki. Thoughts were going to what Naruto would say. You disgust me, Satsuki. Naruto leaving her surrounded by fanboys. No, Naruto-kun, Satsuki shouted. She then looks around. I'm glad that wasn't real. Satsuki thought to herself as she wipes the sweat of her forehead. She then chooses to wear the blue shirt she always wears. And eats and runs to the training ground hoping, praying she bumps into Naruto and then suddenly falls in love, like in romance novels. Realizing that she was in her male form, berated herself for thinking like that. Satsuki got to the training ground dejected because she didn't bump into Naruto. She then goes to the tree that she always uses to relax and wait for pervert, Howler Monkey giggling at the new name for Sakura and her orange prince. She then fell asleep thinking about hers and Naruto's wedding, then they held hands walking out the church, then walking faster than running and then suddenly Satsuki was beating but a random guy and then shouted, I win. With raising 2 hands in the air. Yeah, got that from Bleach. She looked around and saw Naruto in the center of the field looking at her like she was crazy. Then she realized that she yelled and started to blush deep and screamed, Kya, and ran behind the tree to hide herself from humiliating herself even more. Naruto's POV. I woke up and grabbed a cup of ramen and drank a glass of milk from a brand new milk container I got yesterday. I got my awesome jumpsuit and weapons and went to the training ground to meet with the team. While I was walking down the streets I saw everyone glaring at me. This always happens, and I'm starting to get annoyed. So I glare back at them. Which got me surprised, since they looked in the other direction with a scared expression. I smirked. Ha, good, look away, things are going to change around here. I thought. When I arrived at the training ground I saw Sasuke sleeping, which was a surprise since every time I come here I see him train. Guess he didn't get any sleep. And then suddenly Sasuke shouted, I win. Which by the way scared shit out of me. I looked at Sasuke and saw that he was blushing when he was looking at me, and then said, Kya, which by the way sounded like a girl and then ran behind the tree. However, the fact that he said he won, I can make an assumption that he was dreaming about killing his brother. But then another thought, if he did dream about that, why did he get embarrassed? Whatever, it doesn't concern me anymore. I thought, and then I started to my daily stretches, and since Kakashi sensei will be late. Satsuki POV. I see Naruto start doing his daily stretches. He looks dreamy. I thought, then snapped out of it when I felt drool coming out of my mouth. I wiped my drool off and continued to watch. But then a pink-haired howler monkey, laughing at the name ha 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 Satsuki, blocked my view. I was pissed. This bitch was disturbing my show. And it was getting to the good part. I was crying in my mind. I looked at the howler monkey, still laughing, with a glare that spelt death, and apparently she didn't get the message. Sakura, please stop bothering me and, no, I will not go on a date with you. I shouted. Sakura looked sad, which I didn't care at all, and then she looked angry and shouted, why? Why won't you go on a date with me? What is the reason, tell me? I was taken aback by what she said but recovered and said, I like someone, and that person is very special to me. Ha, I bet it's a guy, isn't it? Naruto said. Which made me blush because, it was true. Sakura looked at me and looked like she was crushed. Which, if I had to guess, is that she was shocked I liked someone. Naruto then stopped laughing, which actually caught my attention. Hey Tem, you aren't denying what I said. Naruto pointed out, which surprised me since I was staring at Naruto at that time. Hey, why are you staring at me for? Naruto started to look panicked and scared that I was staring at him. Hey, quit it. It's creeping me out. Naruto said again, but I ignored him. All I want to do is stare at him and maybe some other stuff. Cross that I want to do other stuff. I blushed at my thoughts. Hey Sasuke, I'm sorry that I said that, so stop staring. Naruto apologized, which surprised even Sakura since he never apologizes to me. Just then Kakashi sensei came and said a simple yo, and we started our training. But I still continued to stare at Naruto-kun. Naruto's POV. I still feel Sasuke staring at me. Which is creeping me out. What is with him? I mean, yeah, I made fun of his, but still the way he's staring at me makes what I said true. I suddenly tripped while jogging and got a scolding from Kakashi saying I need to concentrate. Kakashi then goes to Sasuke and trains him. Why is it that me and Sakura have to be stuck with jogging exercises while the Tem gets to learn new jutsus? Especially when he's unfit way more than me. Well, Kitty's playing favorites. He clearly wants to train only the Uchiha brat and leave you to do whatever you Narutos do. A demonic voice said in his mind. Yeah, whatever. I wonder when we're going to go outside of Konoha. Do you know Q-chan? I said and asked Kyuubi. At the rate you guys are going, 1 year. I say if you get the pink banshee out of her fangirl mode and get the stick out of the Uchiha brats and possibly beat the crap out of pervert there, the maybe in 7 months. Kyuubi said. Looks like I have to do everything, huh? I asked. Yep, pretty much. Kyuubi said. While I was jogging, I remembered how I met Kyuubi. It was after the team meeting and I was running to Ichiraku's to get something to eat. Since I was really hungry, I took a shortcut. But it turns out someone did some construction and put a wall there. And I crashed head on. After that, I was in my mindscape and saw Kyuubi. Kyuubi was yelling out how I should bow down and whatnot. But ignored it, and Kyuubi got so pissed that she put crazy pictures in my head. By the way, that's why I was pissed that and yelled at Sakura. And oh yeah, Kyuubi's a female. Turns out after I found that out, I was cautious around every females. Well, not really, I didn't care about the fangirls. After that, me and Kyuubi came to an agreement that I borrow some of her chakra and she gets to see what I see and hear what I hear. I was suddenly punched out of my memories. I looked for the culprit and saw it was Sakura. I was about to yell at her when she started to fawn over Tem again. Did she forget what he said to her before? I asked to no one in particular, but Kyuubi answered anyway. She's really a retard and she's supposed to be the brains of this team. I feel sorry for you, kid, I really do, and that's saying something. Ha ha ha, very funny. I though and answered sarcastically. It seemed that we were going to the Hokage Tower to get a mission. Which I already know that we are going to get another C rank. When we went in, we went directly to the Hokage and standing front of him. Kakashi sensei was asking for a mission. When Gigi said that the demon cat needed to be retrieved. Both me Kyuubi hated that mission. That cat was so annoying that it took everything I had to prevent going Kyuubi to kill it. And people call me a demon. Try catching that cat and people will probably start calling Angel or something. I thought sarcastically. You got that right, Kit. Kyuubi was puffing her cheeks out. Which was cute. When Gigi was asking if we agreed to the mission, I exploded. No way. Not even in hell. Give us something better and not to chase that demon cat anymore. You know it took everything I had to try and not kill it. Everyone was shocked except Kakashi. He was too busy reading porn. Then Iruka started talking about mission rank, which I blocked out and looked around and saw Sakura look pissed at me and saw Tem looking at me like I was cool or something. Though his body and face didn't say it, but his eyes did. Gigi then asked Kakashi if we were ready and he said yes. Alright then, looks like you'll be getting your first C rank mission. Gigi said. You can't be serious, Hokage-sama. Iruka said. I am, and they do need to be experienced, so it's alright. Gigi said. But, Iruka was interrupted. No more Iruka, they will be doing a C rank and that's final. Gigi said in his Hokage voice. Yes, Hokage-sama, Iruka said while looking down. Now bring in the client, please. Gigi said. Later, an old man with a sake bottle came in and looked at us. So a book of kids are going to be protecting me. I paid a lot of money and I get a bunch of brats. And that midget over there looks like he could get killed any minute. The old geezer said. I started to laugh only to realize that he was talking about me. I was about to kill him until Kakashi held me back. And saying something about killing the client will be bad and I won't get my paycheck. I huffed and looked away, not paying attention to the geezer's introduction, and was talking to Q about what techniques she was going to teach me. When everything was over, Kakashi told us to go and pack and rest for tomorrow. I left through the window since I wanted to get out as fast as I can go. When I arrived at my busted up apartment, I went to pack. When I finished, I ate some cup noodles and went to bed to start on my training with Q-sensei. Next morning, I woke up and got ready and went to the gates to wait for the Kakashi, Howler Monkey and Tem. Satsuki POV. I woke up and wore what I usually wore, but this time I packed some girly clothing in case I decide to tell Naruto-kun my secret. When Naruto came to my mind, I thought about yesterday, how he was so cool and how he stood up to the Hokage and demanded a C rank. Kya! I screamed. I couldn't wait any longer. I wanted to go and see if Naruto-kun was at the gates waiting. I quickly put some cupped ramen in case Naruto-kun forgets or runs out. I'll be there and save his day. Thanks, Satsuki-chan, you really saved me. Naruto says. Really? I asked. Yup, but do you know what I want more than ramen? Naruto said. Know what? I asked, hoping what I think he was going to say. You. He suddenly grabbed my chin and kissed me on the lips. When I was out of my fantasy, one look and saw I was kissing my Naruto plushie. Oh phooey, I thought it was real. I said to myself. I then grabbed my backpack and put the genjutsu on and went to the gates, still feeling dejected that I didn't get kiss Naruto-kun. When I got to the gate, I saw Naruto was there already waiting. When got there, he was ignoring me like always. I'm planning on changing that when we go to wave. The Sakura cam, and then Kakashi came with the bridge builder, which shocked everyone of us that he didn't come late this TME. Then Naruto-kun shouted, "Journey start." I had to hold back a giggle. And with that we left on out first C rank. And I was still coming with a plan to be Naruto's first. The first few hours of the journey were boring. All we did was walk and listen to the old geezer talk about how he's a super bridge builder, Kakashi's perverted giggling, and Sakura's banshee yells. But what surprised me during the trip was that Naruto wasn't talking or yelling out his catchphrase, "Believe it." I then look at Naruto and see him staring blankly. He wasn't paying attention to anything. Which to me looked hot. When I looked at him again, his face scrunched up and all of a sudden Naruto was grinning like a madman. So hot. I shouted. It was quite for a short time and saw everyone look at me. Which embarrassed me, but I let out a HN and kept walking. Howler Monkey look at me with hearts coming out of her. Naruto was looking at me like I was crazy. And Kakashi and Tazuna were doing what they did before. Another few minutes passed and I was bored as hell. I wanted some action so I could impress Naruto. In my head I was depressed since I'm Sasuke. Now I can't show any emotion because right now I'm the emo king. I was more depressed at that. Then I suddenly heard Naruto laughing. I turned around and saw that Naruto was jumping in a puddle. Ha ha ha, this is fun. Naruto shouts. He then suddenly started stomping the puddle. I so badly wanted to join him. No, I'm the emo king. I need to keep this up until I'm Jonin or I get engaged to Naruto-kun. I blushed at the last thought. Engaged to Naruto, I thought. Then Sakura started yelling at Naruto for being unprofessional. Please, you howler monkey. If anyone's unprofessional, it's you and pervert sensei. And how dare you stop Naruto-kun's laughter, you bitch. I thought. Naruto looked like he was about to kill Sakura, but suddenly the pond Naruto was dancing on was in smoke and a chain came out directly towards Kakashi. The chain surrounded Kakashi and he was in pieces. Kakashi had just died. Good thing too, now all that's left is Howler Monkey and Team 7 will only be me and Naruto. I quickly went in front of Tazuna protecting him. The smoke diminishes, revealing two ninjas wearing gas masks. One down, one of the two ninjas said, 4 to go, the other said. I looked around and saw Sakura trembling. I then looked around where Naruto was before and he was gone. I then looked at the enemy ninjas. They were knocked out and were beside Naruto. When I looked at Naruto, he was glaring at the enemy with red eyes. But what caught my attention was the wound on his hand. Naruto's POV. The walk was boring. I would have died of boredom if Q-chan wasn't in me. Tazuna's was gloating. Kakashi was giving out perverted giggling. Sakura was doing her howler calls and Tem was staring at me. I think he likes you, Kyuubi said suddenly. What? What makes you think that? He's been staring at you all his life, you know. Even if that's true, there's a logical explanation for that. I said, trying to reason. Yeah. He likes you. No. He's probably trying to find a chance to get my techniques, or the council told him to kill me, is said, blurting out every possible reason. Tem was staring at me. Whatever lets you sleep at night, Kyuubi said. I was about to counter until I saw a puddle. That's a genjutsu, watch out, Q-chan warned me. I grinned. I think my face almost split. I thought of taking a leak. This way I can get the team's attention, and show them that the puddle was a genjutsu and I can humiliate whoever is in that genjutsu. But then suddenly thoughts of Tem and Howler Monkey making fun of him for peeing in the middle of the road, and that would give the council the right to revoking my ninja license. I guess I'll humiliate them another way. But what? I thought, scrunching my face. Why not use them as a trampoline? Q-chan recommended. I thought about it. Great idea, I shouted in my mind. Unknown to me, I had a face-splitting grin plastered on my face. I was broken out of my thoughts when Sasuke shouted, so hot. What the hell is wrong with him? I heard Kyuubi laugh. Why are you laughing? Because you're an idiot, that's why. What's that supposed to mean? You'll find out sooner, maybe later, Kyuubi said. Whatever, I replied. We finally reached the genjutsu puddle. Sasuke and Sakura didn't notice it. But Kakashi did, but apparently decided not to tell us or signal us that there is a genjutsu. I swear I'm going to die if I'm with them, I thought. You got that right. But luckily you have me, Kyuubi said while using both thumbs to point at herself. I gave a small chuckle at that. But it was time I put my plan into action. I started to jump on the puddle. Ha ha ha, this is so fun, I shouted. It was actually fun. But that fun did not last long because Howler Monkey came and started to berate me, saying how I'm unprofessional and whatnot. If only I could kill her just by looking at her, then the world would be safe from this embarrassment. I then ignored her and started walking away from her. She followed just to keep up her yelling to impress her Sasuke-kun. I heard Kyuubi snicker at that part, which is annoying me since she knows something that I don't. Then suddenly the puddle blew up and chains came out of it going around Kakashi-sensei. At that moment Kakashi died. Their next target was me, obviously, for the stomping. However, thanks to a little of Q-chan's chakra, I was able to dodge the chains. When they were taking the chains back, I used that moment to attack. I was in front of the guy on my right and punched him in the stomach and knocked him out. I then went to the other guy and tried to punch him only to get slashed by his kunai. I winced but ignored it since Q-chan can heal me. And knocked him out by kicking him in his private area. When he crouched down at the pain, I used my elbow to hit the back of his neck. And knocking the bastard out. Good job on your first real fight, Kit. I'm proud, Q said. Thanks, Q-chan, but I thought it was going to be more thrilled, but I don't feel anything. I replied to Kyuubi. Well, whatever, tie them up. Oh, and something is messed up about this mission. Q said in a serious tone. What do you mean? I asked, thought confused. What I mean is on a C rank you would usually fight bandits, not ninjas, especially not 2C ranked Chunin Nukenins from Kiri. Kyuubi said. I was confused, but I followed what Q-chan told me to do, and tie them up. Only if I knew where put my ninja wire. I was glaring at the defeated ninjas in case they pull something to escape. Naruto. I heard Sasuke scream my name. And I turned to him, looking at him, wondering why he screamed, or actually screamed like how a girl screams when she is afraid. Not being I'm actually scared of girls, so please don't kill me, not that I would know since I cut myself from the female population after what Q-chan showed me. I shuddered just remembering it. I was brought out of my thoughts when Sasuke held my hands, examining my wound. Naruto, we need to heal this before you bleed to death, Sasuke nearly shouted. Then Kakashi came out of his hiding spot with his porn book. Good job, guys, you did great. I scoffed at that. I did all the work. Kakashi-sensei, Naruto is bleeding, Sasuke shouted. Did he just say, Naruto and not, dope? I was shocked. Told you, Kit. He likes you, I heard Kyuubi said. No. That's not possible, we're both guys and I do not roll that way. And besides, he's obsessed with reviving his clan and he can't do that with a guy, so ha. I heard Kyuubi sign. Well, whatever, like I said, whatever makes you sleep at night. Kyuubi said. I was about to counter but was brought back to reality as Sasuke was shaking me. What do want him? I said. I saw that Sasuke gave a saddened look, but he quickly covered it up. The kunai that slashed you had poison and we need to go back to the village to heal you, Sasuke said. What? Hell no, I'm not going back, I shouted. It was Kakashi who spoke. Well, if we don't, you're going to die. I felt Sasuke stiffen at that. Maybe it has something to do with his clan's death. Is what I thought when I felt Sasuke stiffen. Naruto, you're always slowing us down no matter what we do. That's why you're unfit to be a ninja, so quit already. 'Cause all this team needs is me and Sasuke-kun. Sakura said with her howler monkey of a mouth. I so badly wanted to kill this bitch. Remind me, why did I have a crush on her? I asked to no one in particular. I think you were drunk at that time, Kyuubi said. Yeah, I think you're right. I agreed with Kyuubi. Listen here, Haruno, the only one slowing us down is you were scared and couldn't even move to protect our client, and Naruto was the one that defeated the enemy, while what did you do? Nothing. Even I did something, Sasuke yelled. Me being surprised would be an understatement. Sasuke of all people is defending me. I looked around just to be sure the world isn't ending, and I pinched myself in case this was a dream. Which wasn't. But Sasuke-kun, he was slowing us down. Sakura stuttered. Shut up. Because of us, Naruto was injured and there is a slight chance that he may die from the poison. So shut up, Sasuke yelled. What the hell is going on here? I asked myself. It's common for a lover to defend the person they love, Kyuubi said. I told you I don't roll that way. I shouted. That's true, kid, but what if he rolls that way? Maybe he has a crush on you, Kyuubi said. That's it, just for that I'm not going to dream of killing the villager for a week. I stated. What? No, you have. It's torture when you dream about ramen, Kyuubi said frantically. Whatever. I thought, but, I cut her off. Sasuke and Sakura's fight was still going and it was getting irritated and I was getting a headache, so I got kunai and stabbed my hand. Naruto, what are you doing? Sasuke shouted. No matter what, I will never go back, you hear me, not even if I'm trapped in room filled with poisoned Adbao. That's good and all, Naruto, since you did get the poison out, but you can still die from blood loss. Kakashi said with an eye smile. I really did not know that. I was panicking, totally forgetting the Q-chan can heal me in a matter of seconds. Hold still, Naruto, you're making the blood flow faster as you move, Kakashi said with a sign. When I got out of my panic mode, I saw Sasuke looking through his backpack. I was curious as to what he was looking for, so I tried to look, but what shocked me the most was Sasuke had panties and bra and dresses all stored in his backpack. I was shocked. Questions were popping in my head. Is Sasuke a cross-dresser? Did he steal those before we left? And why does one of the panties have my face on it? My brain was overloading that I fainted. The last thing I heard was Sasuke shouting my name. I woke up to the smell of oranges. When I opened my eyes, I saw that I was in a boat under an unfinished bridge surrounded by mist, and my head on Sasuke's shoulder. What? Satsuki POV. I saw Naruto-kun stab himself with a kunai, which made him look so awesome. Suddenly Kakashi-sensei said that Naruto-kun would die if we didn't stop the blood. I remembered that I carried bandages in case something was to happen to Naruto-kun, so I was rummaging through my backpack. When I was looking for the bandages, I realized I was looking through the wrong backpack. This is my, in case me and Naruto get it on, backpack. I can't believe I made a stupid mistake. I then heard a thump and saw Naruto-kun on floor. I shouted, Naruto. I thought he died since he was bleeding a lot. My mind was thinking of what my days are going to be without Naruto. No more goofy smile. No more chance of getting him to propose to me. And no possible way of having his kids. I shouted in my head, no, this can't be happening. This absolutely cannot be happening. Oh, looks what happened, Mr. Great Ninja, Kakashi said in a calm tone. This bastard, how can he be calm when Naruto is dying? This son of a, but wasn't able to finish my sentence for 2 reasons. 1. I had to be ladylike or else Naruto-kun will never go out with me. 2. Kakashi broke B of my sentence. Looks like he fainted. Oh, do any of you have bandages? Kakashi said. Sakura shook her head in no manner. And when Kakashi looked at me, I hurriedly went through my ninja bag and finally found the bandage. I gave them to Kakashi. I looked at Naruto the whole time. I was just glad he fainted and not die. Thanked Kami. If he really did die, I would have resurrected the Kyuubi, destroyed the Kiri for killing my future husband, and possibly destroy Konoha for how they treated him, thought. So who would like to carry Naruto all the way to home? Kakashi said. I was confused. Why home? Aren't we going to go to Wave and protect Mr. Drunk here? What do you mean, Kakashi-sensei? I asked. Well, it seems that this mission has turned from AC rank to AB rank. Kakashi answered. But then Tazuna begged them he needed their help and not to go. Kakashi then asked why he lied about the mission rank. And then Tazuna explained his story about how this Gato person was ruining their lives and whatnot. I don't know what he said since I was looking at Naruto-kun the whole time. His face is so beautiful when he sleeps. And those whiskers kawaii. But I was disturbed in my Naruto time by Kakashi. So Sasuke, do you want to continue or not? He asked. I was about to refuse when I remembered that Wave is in trouble and possibly I could impress Naruto-kun if I saved a country. So the only logical answer for me was, yes. Sakura agreed only because I was going, which was pitiful. And due to Naruto's performance, we took Naruto's speech as a yes and we headed to Wave. The question on who was going to carry Naruto came up again. I raised my hand since I know that the client isn't supposed to do any work, Sakura is too weak and Kakashi was going to drag him because he could be like those bastard in the village not caring about Naruto and he was going to be busy reading porn. I was the happiest girl in the world right now because I was carrying Naruto on my back. His head in my neck area, his was breathing on my neck. It took everything I had to stop myself from taking all of my and his clothes off and have kids right there and then. But I was reminded that I was in my emo self, so I had to act like I hated the idea. We walked some more until we came to a lake where there was a boat waiting for us. We got on. It was sailing across the water. Naruto was sleeping on my shoulders. It was dream come true. In my head I was thinking of all the possibilities that could happen. And then I felt Naruto wake up. He had shock written all over his face. Which was cute cause it made him look like a fox kit. What's going on? Naruto shouted. Then the guy who was paddling the boat told him to be quiet or Gato will hear us. In my mind I was pissed at this bastard. No one, and I mean no one, tells Naruto-kun to stay quiet. He can be as loud as he wants. I was thinking of many ways to kill this guy. I then noticed that Kakashi was explaining everything to Naruto-kun, which seemed like he understood. When we finally reached land, the guy in the boat said his goodbyes. We were off. The fog in the area was getting thick, which gave me an idea of kidnapping Naruto-kun and having my ways with. I was glad that the fog was there because I couldn't stop my blush from appearing. And then suddenly Naruto threw a kunai at the bushes stating someone was there. When we looked at what was behind the bush, it was a white rabbit. This confused me since, well, white rabbits only appear in winter. But I was cut out of my thoughts when Sakura was berating Naruto-kun. I was about go to her and kill her when Kakashi told us to get down, which I did since I saw him push Tazuna and Sakura down. When Kakashi told us to get up, I saw a giant blade stuck to a tree with a man on top of it. Zabuza Momoichi, the demon of the mist, I heard Kakashi say. Sharingan no Kakashi, I can see why the demon brothers lost. He said. Which pissed me off since it was Naruto-kun who beat them. Then they were talking about how Zabuza killed his entire class to become a genin and which organs he should cut off, and we finally see Kakashi's face. Just joking, I wish though, but no, we saw Kakashi's other left eye which had a Sharingan in it. How does he have a Sharingan? He's not an Uchiha. I thought. The fight is just like in the anime and manga, but Naruto doesn't try to run away. It's Sakura tried to run away until Kakashi told them to guard Tazuna. When the fight finished and the hunter Nin took Zabuza's body, I helped Naruto-kun carry Kakashi to Tazuna's house. When we finally arrived there, Tazuna's daughter opened the door. I saw how Naruto was looking at her. The way he looks at her. He should be looking at me like that. Shouted, glaring at Tazuna's daughter, who is known as Tsunami. When we went in, we were greeted by Kid, who told us to go home. But before anyone could say anything, he ran away. We finally put Kakashi down on a futon and went to rest ourselves. I was happy that I could relax after all that happened, but I wanted to relax next Naruto. I dozed off dreaming about me and Naruto-kun and killing of Tsunami. It was 2 hours and I heard Naruto shouting Kakashi was awake. We all gathered where Kakashi was lying down. He told us how Zabuza was still alive, which I was happy. I wanted fight to prove to Naruto I am the only woman who deserves him. The Tsunami interrupted and said dinner was ready. When we got to the table, Naruto was complaining how the food wasn't ramen. I was about to get an instant cup ramen when Kakashi told him to eat what they offered and not complain, which he complied to. I was pissed at Kakashi because I couldn't be Naruto-kun's savior. When everyone finished, the little brat who told us to go ran off. Naruto ran off to the bathroom to get a shower. Sakura was practicing her howler calls with Tazuna, who seemed to want to hit her with his beer bottle. And Kakashi went to sleep. I was about to get changed when Tsunami called me to follow her outside. I bet she's trying to get rid of her competition for Naruto-kun's heart, I thought. When we reached where she took me, I was ready to get my kunai out and kill her. Sasuke-san, you're a girl, aren't you? She said. What, how does she know? I thought, shocked that she found out. Thinking of possible clues that I may have given her. But my mind was drawing blank. How? I know I didn't leave any clues. And not even Kakashi, who is a top-ranked jonin, knows my secret. Especially from meeting me in one day. I said, scared. So I was right, I was drawing on a hunch I had. Was all Tsunami said. I was shocked she just had a hunch, and by me responding to her I gave her my secret. But still, how did you come to that conclusion? I said, wanting to know how a civilian that isn't a ninja, hell she wasn't from a ninja village, know my secret. Tsunami looked at me before she answered. Well, when we first met you were glaring at me like you wanted to kill me when I looked at that orange boy. At first I thought you were angry at something, but I didn't know what. Later through the day you were glaring at me every time I came to the room you and your teammates were in, but what gave it away was during lunch. You were sitting close to Naruto-san, and each time you looked at Naruto-san you blushed. But when I came to give food, Naruto-san looked at me, you glared at me. And that's how I know you're a girl. And the expression you had looked like a girl in love. And I saw the clothes in your backpack. Tsunami said. I looked at her. I can't believe I left that many clues. Then I realized that her observation could mean something else entirely, but wait, couldn't that have meant that I countered. Tsunami was in a thinking position. That's true, but I have seen lots of girls that had the same expression as you, and your expression looked similar, or to tell the truth it looked like your pink-haired teammate. Tsunami said. I'm nothing like that whore. I shouted. Shish, the others will hear. Tsunami warned me. I put my hands on my mouth. Sorry, I whispered. So there has to be a story as to why you disguised yourself as a boy. Tsunami said. I looked down and had a sad expression. Well, you see, I'm from the Uchiha clan and they have a strong dojutsu known as Sharingan. 5 years ago my brother massacred everyone except for me. I don't know why he did it, because all he said was that he was testing his skills. He then put me in a genjutsu and I was knocked out. Hokage-sama came and visited me and told me that my clan was killed and that I was the last one left. Because of that I had to get multiple wives due to the CRA. Now these banshee screeching fangirls follow me everywhere. I said. Tsunami looked at me with sympathy. So that's why you disguise yourself as a boy. This council doesn't bother you when you're a boy? Tsunami asked. Oh, bothers me. They already have 30 marriage contracts ready when I'm 18, and I'm pretty sure it's increasing as we speak. Not only that, I have fangirls everywhere I go. It doesn't help that my teammate is a fangirl. They even try to take a picture of me when I try take a shower. Sometimes they try to sneak in to take a shower with me. Just glad that Hokage-sama put those anti-fangirl traps in my compound. They get shocked with 1000 volts of electricity. I said, smiling evilly. Tsunami shivered at my smile. And she looked like she was thinking. I bet that she was thinking about the traps and was feeling sorry for the fangirls. I have no clue why she would, and I didn't really care. All I cared was that I didn't have to take a shower in my male form anymore. Don't you feel sorry for them? Tsunami asked. I looked at her in disbelief. Me feel sorry for fangirls? They are an embarrassment to kunoichis. All they do is fawn over the boy they like, especially when said boy is actually a girl. And they don't take ninja training seriously. But then again, I am a fangirl, the president and founder of the FNC, Foxy Naruto Club. But I at least take things seriously, unlike Howler Monkey. I then looked at Tsunami. No, I don't. They are a disgrace to all kunoichis in the elemental country. All they care about is how they look, so they go on diets, when instead they should eat as much as they can to survive. Fangirls have little to no chakra, which is proven by my worthless pink-haired teammate. Unlike me, of course. I stated. What do you mean, unlike you? Tsunami asked. I mean that I am a fangirl, but I know when to take my kunoichi job seriously and when to dream about my Naruto. I said with hearts in my eyes when I mentioned Naruto. Well, I guess so. Tsunami said. And besides, I'm an Uchiha, and Uchihas are always better than others. I said. Tsunami looked at me in a weird way. Does that mean you're better than Naruto-san? Tsunami asked. I looked at Tsunami like she was crazy. There is nobody better than Naruto-kun, not even the Yondaime could compare to him. But before I could counter Tsunami, Sakura was Banshee screaming my name. Sasuke-kun, come here, Kakashi-sensei is awake. Sakura screeched. I signed and looked at Tsunami. No one is better than Naruto-kun. I said and left as Tsunami followed me. Normal POV. I will refer Sasuke as Satsuki unless people say his name. Hey Tem, what took you so long? Naruto greeted Satsuki. HN. Satsuki greeted back. So cool. Sakura Banshee screamed. When all members of Team 7 sat down, Kakashi put his book down and looked at them. I believe that Zabuza is still alive. Kakashi said to his students. Everyone was shocked. Tazuna had dropped his beer bottle, which shattered on the ground. That's not possible, sensei. I mean, you killed him and even checked if he had a pulse or not. Sakura said, scared, not wanting to fight Zabuza again. Remember the weapon the hunter nin used? Kakashi said. Yeah, he used Senbons. So? Naruto asked. Kitsenbon needles are used for Mikao practice and not used for killing people. Kyuubi explained in Naruto's mind. Naruto's eyes were wide in realization. It seems you understand, Naruto. Kakashi said. Naruto nodded. What are you guys talking about? What does Naruto Baka understand? Sakura screamed. And she's supposed to be the smart one. Thought Kakashi, Satsuki, Naruto and Kyuubi. What we mean is that the hunter nin that carried Zabuza's body away was a fake. Naruto said. How was he a fake? Sakura said. Idiot. Hunter nins cuts off the Nukenen's head off and burn the body no matter who their audience is. This because all they need is the head to keep the village secret intact. Kakashi explained. And not only that, the weapon the hunter nin used is Senbon needles, which are usually used for acupuncture, paralyzing enemy or putting the enemy into a death-like state temporarily. Naruto finished. Sakura was shocked that Naruto knew that. Satsuki was inwardly sparkling. I knew that. Stop trying to act cool, Naruto Baka. Sakura Banshee screamed. Everyone signed. Really, this bitch is useless. Everyone thought, even Tsunami, who just entered the room. Uno, dinner will be in 10 minutes, okay? Tsunami said while everyone nodded. How long do we have till he comes back? Sasuke asked Kakashi. Kakashi looked at him. From the damage we gave him and the recovery process from a temporary death-like state, 2 weeks. Kakashi said. 2 weeks. How are we going to be able to face him? He was too strong. Sakura Banshee screamed. Everyone was tired of listening to Sakura's Banshee screeched. Tazuna was tempted to throw his beer bottle at her head, but he had to remind himself that they were helping him, even the useless pink bitch. Don't worry, next we'll be ready. We'll be training for 2 weeks. I'll think of a schedule for you guys to be ready for him and his helper. Kakashi said. Sakura and Satsuki was happy that to hear about the training, but Naruto put on a neutral face. Yeah, training the Uchiha. Naruto thought. Hey Baka, what's with that face? Aren't you happy that we get some training? Sakura yelled at Naruto. What I would do to punch this bitch and pit her in her place. Naruto thought. Agreed. Kyuubi said, nodding her head. Naruto put on a fake smile followed by making his eye in a U shape and said, of course I am Howler Monkey. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm hungry and I would like some of Tsunami-chan's delicious meals. And Naruto left the room where Sakura was restrained by Tazuna. Satsuki looked at Naruto with worry and Kakashi was back to his thoughts about his orange book. During dinner, everyone was seated at the table eating and having small talks with each other. Satsuki kept stealing glances at Naruto and Sakura kept stealing glances at Sasuke. When dinner was finished, they all went to their assigned bedrooms. Sakura sleeping with Tsunami. Kakashi in the living room. Tazuna and Inari in their own rooms and Satsuki and Naruto. Satsuki was happy that she was going sleep in the same room as Naruto. But she had another thing in her mind. Yes, I'm away from the village, no stupid old bats watching every move, no fangirls annoying for a date, currently. Today I'll reveal to Naruto-kun who I really am. Satsuki thought. Uno Naruto, I have something to tell. Why? Oh, you. You already fell asleep. Satsuki yelled in Sasuke's voice, seeing Naruto already in bed with a bubble coming out of his nose. Satsuki signed and went to sleep, knowing there wasn't any use in try to do anything, knowing that Naruto is a heavy sleeper. Next morning, everyone woke up and was in the dining room waiting for breakfast. Sakura was asking Sasuke out on a date and was being denied constantly. Kakashi was reading his porn and Tazuna was talking to Naruto about how cool he was, and Naruto was ignoring Tazuna and talking to Kyuubi. Hey kid, what do you think porn lover over there going to teach you? Kyuubi said. I don't know what he's going to teach, but knowing him, probably a chakra control exercise, considering everyone in the team has horrible chakra control. Well, except for me, Naruto said back. That's probably true, considering he wants all the time in the world to read that orange book. Kyuubi said. Yeah, anyway, I think I'll be practicing that new technique you taught me the other day. Haven't really been training for 2 days now. Naruto said. Yeah, that would be the best considering who your opponent will be. But be careful, remember the side effects of using it too much. Kyuubi said, concerned. Don't worry Q-chan, I will. Naruto said right back, happy that someone was concerned for him. But Naruto was broken out of his thoughts when someone punched him. When he looked for the person, it was none other than Sakura. Baka, stop acting like Sasuke-kun, and because of you Sasuke-kun won't go out with me. Sakura howled. Irritated, Naruto grabbed the back of her head and slammed it on the floor, making her fall unconscious. Everyone was happy, especially Satsuki, that the Banshee was finally quiet. Naruto, don't hurt your comrades. But considering that I can finally concentrate on my book, I'll let it slide. Just this once, okay? Kakashi said, trying to scold Naruto. When finally breakfast came, the food was all gone in a matter of minutes. But sadly they had to wait until the pink-haired girl woke up and finish eating to finally start their training. Team 7 is in the forest with Kakashi in clutches. Alright team, today we're going to climb a tree. Kakashi said. Satsuki and Sakura were confused, but sensei, we already know how to. Sakura said. No, this is different, you're going to climb a tree without using your hands. Kakashi said. That's impossible. Sakura screamed. If you let me continue, I'll explain. You won't be using your hands but using your chakra by applying them to the sole of your feet. Understand? Kakashi said, only receiving one nod, and it was from the person he least expected. Fine, here's a demonstration. Kakashi said as he went up to a tree and started walking vertically. He received shocks from Sasuke and Sakura. Wonder why Naruto isn't shocked. Maybe he already had seen this before. Kakashi thought. He later threw 3 kunais to his students. Pick a tree and start climbing it. Say the kunai to mark where you fall from and try to beat it later. Kakashi said. Satsuki and Sakura each grabbed a kunai and picked out a tree and started. Satsuki climbed the tree, but when she got a few feet the bark exploded, but she was able to mark the tree. Oh sorry, I forgot to explain. If you use too little chakra you will fall, and if you use too much chakra the bark will explode. So you see why this is good, right? You have to find just the right amount of chakra to use. Kakashi said. Receiving glares from Satsuki. Now he tells us. Satsuki thought. The damn idiot didn't explain the full details of this exercise or why it's good to do this exercise. Naruto thought. Sasuke-kun is so cool to be able to climb that far. Fangirl thought. Cha, that's our Sasuke-kun. A voice shouted in the fangirl's mind. Naruto, why aren't you doing the exercise? Kakashi asked, looking at his blonde student. Naruto looked at him. Case I already know this and I've mastered it already. Naruto said, signing. Really? Prove it. Kakashi said. Naruto walks up the tree getting shocked looks from Satsuki, Sakura and Kakashi. Naruto stopped when he reached half of the tree. See, Naruto said in a bored tone as he was walking back to the ground. So cool. Naruto-kun is the best. Satsuki mentally shouted with mental stars in her eyes. Sakura was irritated that he was showing off. Kakashi was impressed. Alright Naruto, since you know the tree walking exercise, then I'll show the water walking exercise. Already know it. I can last 3 hours in the water. Naruto said, interrupting Kakashi. Kakashi was shocked that he could do the water walking, and Satsuki was screaming like the fangirl she is in her head about how cool and hip Naruto was. Sakura was mentally picturing Naruto's death. Now if you'll excuse me, I have some personal training to do. Naruto said as he walked away. Naruto found a clear area far from his team and started practicing the new technique Kyuubi taught him. At midnight, everyone except Naruto and Satsuki were at the dinner table. Ah, when is Sasuke-kun going to come? The pink-haired girl shouted. Calm down Sakura, I'm sure he will come soon. After all that training he will be starving. Kakashi said as he finished his orange book and took out a green book. Just then Satsuki came in, bruised and exhausted from falling from the tree and using too much chakra. I did it. Satsuki said in Sasuke's voice. Anyone wondering how Satsuki finished the exercise in one day? I just took the idea from another fanfic that girls have better control of their chakra. Not being or anything, but almost every important figures that no one knows anything about other than legends is going to be female, like the Sage of Six Path in all my stories, and Satsuki wants to be there with Naruto for every step of the way cause she's a fangirl. Call it a keke genkai all fangirls have. Good job Sasuke, tomorrow you'll be guarding Tazuna with Sakura and Naruto. Kakashi said, I smiling. You better protect me, brat. Tazuna said, and Satsuki scoffed at him. Satsuki was in a good mood because starting tomorrow she will be with Naruto and guarding their client. But that good mood was soon gone when Naruto was nowhere to be seen. Where's Dope? Shouldn't he be back by now? Satsuki said in Sasuke's voice. He should be back anytime soon. Kakashi said. And just then Naruto was in the dining room all covered in dirt and burnt marks. Everyone stared at him. Naruto looked at them. What? Naruto asked. What happened to you? Tsunami asked, concerned about the boy. Well, I accidentally messed up on my jutsu more than 5 times and got burnt. Naruto said, smiling while scratching the back of his head while facing Tsunami. Satsuki was of course jealous that he wasn't smiling at her. Anyway, don't worry about me. I'm hungry as hell. Naruto said, and to prove it his stomach was growling. Tsunami giggled at that and went to bring the food that was just made. Naruto and Satsuki were digging at the food like animals. The boy that was in the room was glaring at Naruto and his team while they were talking about their day happily without any care. He was irritated so much that he slammed his finished bowl of rice and walked to his room, not caring about the calls of his name. What happened to the brat? Naruto said. Don't worry, he must have been tired. Tsunami said, and that was enough answer for Naruto as he went back to eating. Naruto had finished his food while the others were still trying to finish half of theirs. Ah, that was good. You're the best, Tsunami-san. That was one of the best meals I have ever had. Naruto said, smiling. He looked at the time and got up. Well, looks like it's time to sleep. Naruto said as he stretched and went to his temporary room. Everyone was still trying to finish their dinner so they could rest as well. At midnight, Naruto woke up from his sleep due to his bladder. He needed to go to the bathroom, so he went to the bathroom that was in his and Sasuke's temporary room and yanked it open. When it was open, he stopped his movement and his mind was frozen. What he saw was a girl with black hair and onyx-colored eyes that had shock and embarrassment in it. The girl oddly looked like Sasuke to him. When Naruto finally got out of his stupor, he closed the door and opened it again, but this time instead of a girl he saw Sasuke with a towel wrapped around his waist, which disappointed him considering the girl looked cute to him. He then closed the door and opened it again, and Sasuke was still there with a towel around his waist. Naruto then rubbed his eyes and it was still the same. I think I used a little too much chakra that I'm seeing things, Naruto thought to himself. What do you want, dope? Satsuki said, stuttering. Oh my god, he saw my female self. Although I wanted him to know, I didn't want him to know like this. Nothing, Tem, I just need to use the bathroom, I need to go really badly. Naruto said. And Satsuki nodded and got out of the room when she got all her boy clothing. When Naruto finally did his business in the bathroom, he went to wash his hands. After he washed his hands, he was looking for a towel to dry his hands when he saw something orange. Orange being his favorite color, he couldn't help but be curious. So he grabbed it. What he saw shocked him. It was an orange pair of panty with a red swirl on it. Whose is this? I know it's not Sakura's, considering she only likes the color pink. It can't be Tsunami-san's, considering it's too small. Naruto thought. Then his mind went to the last person who was in the bathroom. Maybe it's Tem's. Hey, I doubt it. Maybe it's Kakashi's. He is known as a pervert. Maybe he stole these since the books may not be enough for him. Naruto thought. He then put them back where he found them and went to bed. His dreams filled with him swimming in ramen and also dreaming about the village as Kyuubi was smashing the village. Satsuki, on the other hand, was looking at Naruto and was getting nervous. Has been 3 days since the underwear incident and Naruto was sleeping in the middle of the forest with a bird on top of his head. He was tired from his constant use of his jutsu that he didn't know he was running out of chakra. Kyuubi would have given him some of her chakra, but she didn't. She wanted to watch Naruto humiliate himself. This is because when Naruto experiences chakra exhaustion, he does random dancing like he was drunk or something. In the meantime, someone wearing a pink kimono was walking through the forest. When she saw Naruto sleeping, the person went to Naruto and started poking him. Naruto woke up and saw a beautiful girl in front of him. He immediately blushed. Uno, what are you doing out here? You can get a cold if you sleep here, you know. The girl figure said. Naruto's brain was dead from seeing a cute girl. His animal side, which was his fox side, wanted to take her and ravage her till he was tired, which would be like a few days or so considering the stamina he has due to the fox. I was training and no, I won't get a cold. I never have. By the way, who are you, beautiful? Naruto said, putting aside his fear and following his animal side and maybe have with her. I'm Haku, and you? The now known as Haku said as she rolled her eyes at the beautiful comment. They always say that to me when they see me. Haku thought as he cried inwardly. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, the next Hokage TT Ibeo. Naruto shouted the last part. Naruto then looked at the basket Haku was carrying. Uno, what are you doing? Naruto asked. Haku was surprised. Oh, I'm just collecting herbs for a sick friend. Haku said. Oh really? Then can I help? Naruto asked. Haku just smiled and nodded. And they began collecting herbs. It was silent for a while until Haku decided to break the silence. Naruto-san, you're a ninja, correct? Haku asked. Naruto looked at Haku. Yep. And I'm going to be Hokage one day and everyone will acknowledge me, Dadbeo. Naruto shouted. Haku could only giggle. Naruto looked offended that she was giggling at his dream. Hey, is something wrong with being Hokage? Naruto asked. No, nothing is wrong. It's just funny at the way you said. Haku said. Then another moment silence came. Hokage, huh? That is a big dream. Do you have something to fight for? Haku asked as he was thinking about his own past. What? Naruto asked, confused. Haku smiled. When a person has something important to protect, that's when they can truly be strong. Haku said. Naruto took his time to think about all his precious people. So far, the current Hokages, the Ikiraku families, his friends Shikamaru's, Choji's and Kiba's faces appeared on his mind. Naruto smiled. Yeah, I understand that very well. Naruto said, smiling. Haku smiled back. Haku then stood up and was walking away. You will be strong. Let's meet again somewhere. Haku said. Sure. Naruto said, smiling. Then suddenly Haku stopped. Oh, and I'm a boy. Haku said and started to leave again, leaving a shocked Naruto. What? There is no way that could be true. I mean, he's cuter Kurenai-sensei, and that's saying something. Naruto inwardly shouted as he saw Haku leave and Sasuke coming towards him glaring at Haku. Kyuubi, however, was having other thoughts. Maybe if I play my cards right I could get a yaoi starting. Kyuubi said out loud. I heard that. Naruto yelled at, inwardly disgusted at Kyuubi's thoughts. Teehee. Kyuubi giggled as she stuck her tongue out in a cute way which she failed due to her enormous size. With Satsuki. Satsuki had just woken up from the sound of her portable alarm clock. Sasuke-kun. Wake up. It's breakfast and it's your favitrote, the alarm clock shouted. Ugh, why did she have to wake me up? I was having one of the best dreams of my life. Me and Naruto were. He, Satsuki thought perversely. Then she looked around hoping nobody saw her perverted grin. With a sign of relief she got of her futon and looked to her side. No Naruto-kun today either. Damn it. I need my Naru time. Satsuki mentally shouted at the sky. When she got ready she headed down to the living room of their clients. When she got there she was greeted by a heart-filled Sakura, a gloomy Inari, a smiling Tsunami, a drunk Tazuna and a Kakashi giggling perversely. Hey Sasuke-kun, do you wanna go on a date after breakfast? Sakura said in a fangirl manner. Satsuki signed. No. And Sakura became dejected. She then looked around for the blonde knucklehead but he was nowhere in sight. Where's Nadope? Satsuki said. Huff, don't know that Baka hasn't come back since yesterday. Sakura said, annoyed that Sasuke wasn't talking about her. Satsuki was getting annoyed by her insulting her future lover but was brought out of her thoughts when Kakashi put his book down on the table, which shocked her. Sasuke could go out and find Naruto and tell him to come back for breakfast. If he refuses to come, tell him that there is ramen and he should come here in matter of seconds. Kakashi said, which Satsuki just nodded and acted she didn't want to, but in the inside she was jumping for joy. He should be at the forest where we had our training, maybe even a little farther. Kakashi said, after which he picked up his book and went back to reading. Showing serious Kakashi for a few seconds. Satsuki left, leaving a banshee shouting, Naruto should just die of starvation. With a sign she started to look for Naruto. She had gone to the clearing where the team minus Naruto did tree walking exercise. But he wasn't there. She was about to go back until she heard someone shout out about being Hokage. I'm going to be Hokage Dadbeo. Only one person shouts that. Satsuki thought, excited that she could get some alone time with the blonde enigma. When she went to the clearing Naruto was in, she saw he was talking to a girl, which pissed her off. That bitch mine. Satsuki thought, inwardly seething. Oh, and I'm a boy. The girly boy said. Which shocked Satsuki. 0.0, there is no way she is a boy, means she's cuter than Kurenai and cuter than me. Satsuki thought. When the boy was leaving, Satsuki was glaring at him, thinking that he was lying about being a boy. When the boy was out of sight, Satsuki looked at Naruto, who was crossed-legged in a thinking position, mumbling something about the world being a mysterious place. She then realized she and Naruto were alone. This is perfect, I can tell him my secret. Satsuki thought. Hey Nar, but she wasn't able to finish as Naruto started to yell. Ah, that's gross, I don't roll that way. Naruto shouted. Satsuki looked shocked at Naruto's outburst and then blushed when Naruto stared at her. What do you want, Naruto asked angrily. Satsuki was saddened and was about to cry that he kept calling her that. I wish he would call me something more girly, like Suki-chan or Kurohime, Satsuki thought sadly. But she stopped her moping and got her act together. Kakashi-sensei said, come back to the house for breakfast. Satsuki said in Sasuke's broody voice. Naruto just nodded and walked past her without giving a glance. Naruto left the clearing with Satsuki following behind him, thinking of ways to tell him the truth about her. But she was broken out of her thoughts when Sakura Banshee screamed her male name. She of course was getting sick of it, so she knocked her out by pressing a pressure point. She then turned her head to the group of people who were half shocked. Do any of you have a problem? Satsuki said as Sasuke. And all the people turned their left and right indicating no. Good. Satsuki said as she went and sat beside Naruto and started eating Tsunami's cooking. No matter how much she wanted to deny it, Tsunami's cooking was the best she had ever since her mother died. She was sad, but then she remembered she still had Naruto even though he doesn't realize it. She looked at Naruto and blushed but kept it hidden. Tsunami saw this and was happy for the girl but sad that she couldn't reveal who she really is. While they were eating, Sakura woke up and started Banshee screaming and blaming Naruto for being knocked out. Kakashi, wanting to read his porn without any interruption, told Sakura to eat and not to talk in a commanding voice. Sakura obeyed. While eating, Satsuki was trying to get closer to Naruto, who in turn kept going farther away from her. When breakfast finished, Kakashi told the team to guard Tazuna. Naruto said he wanted to keep training, which Kakashi gave permission. Naruto left, leaving his teammates to discuss about their schedule. With Naruto was walking all the way to the clearing he was at before going back to the house for breakfast, and where he met Haku. The fact that Haku was a boy and was more girly than Sakura, Ino and even Hinata. Strange world, Naruto thought. When he got to the clearing, he did Kajbunshians and told him to start training. The clones shouted and started, but Naruto on the other hand was thinking about all the crazy things that happened. First the mysterious girl in the bathroom, then the orange panties, then the boy-girl incident. Seriously, what is happening here? Naruto thought. Don't forget. Sasuke, liking you. Kyuubi said. Yeah, that. Naruto replied. Then a few seconds passed and he realized what he said to Kyuubi. What? That's not true. Naruto yelled out loud. Calm down, Kit. No need to shout, I'm right here, you know. Kyuubi said. Take that back then. There is no way Sasuke likes me. For one thing, we are both guys. Naruto yelled at Kyuubi. Then if he was a girl, then would that change? Kyuubi asked. Naruto thought about it but stopped himself. Hell no. Even if he turned into a girl, his attitude would still be there. That emo bastard won't find a normal girl that would go out with him. Naruto said. What if it's not a girl emo bastard is looking for? What if he's looking for? But Kyuubi wasn't able to finish as Naruto disconnected the link. Seriously, is that all she thinks about? Ero Kitsune. Naruto shouted in his mind and went back to training. Dawn 7 to 8 p.m. Naruto and his clones were all exhausted trying to figure a way to get the jutsu that Kyuubi taught him to do. He later told all the Kajbunshians to go one at a time, but all of them went at the same time, which later gave the original Naruto a major headache as he was clutching his head from all the information his clones gained. Just then Satsuki came and looked at Naruto in a funny position while screaming. You okay? Satsuki said, worried. Yeah, just a headache. Naruto replied. Well then let's go back, there are some painkillers in my bag. Satsuki said. Naruto looked at Satsuki, who was disguised as Sasuke, which he didn't know. Don't need it, Naruto said as he still felt the pain. Either way, you have to come back. Kakashi gave an order for you to come back and report of your training and then eat. Satsuki said in Sasuke's emotional voice. Naruto nodded and went ahead, making Satsuki walking behind Naruto. I need to tell him. We're alone now, no howler monkey, pervert or drunk bridge builder in sight. Satsuki said as she looked around the forest. Nah, but she was interrupted by Sakura. Sasuke-kun. Sakura came and tackled Satsuki. Satsuki was annoyed. Get off of me. Satsuki yelled, which surprised both Sakura and Naruto. Considering he never shouted before. Sasuke-kun. Sakura stuttered. I've had it with you. Stop following me around. Satsuki yelled at Sakura with Sasuke's voice. Naruto broke out of his stupor and looked at Satsuki. Don't waste your time, Tem. She won't listen, she'll be back to her fangirling self within 10 minutes. Just leave her and let's go. I'm starved. Naruto said in a serious and dark tone which made both Satsuki and Sakura flinch. But it turned Satsuki on with his commanding voice. Wow! Satsuki thought as she gave a squeal in her head. She followed Naruto, leaving a depressed Sakura in the forest. When they reached Tazuna's house, both of them had a race as to who can go to the dinner table first. It was won by Satsuki, who looked at Naruto yelling that he would beat her one day. This made her smile internally, thinking he was cute. When they sat down, Sakura came in and started asking Sasuke for a date. Much to the annoyance of the people in the room. Itadakimasu. Naruto yelled as he gobbled all the food. Satsuki was looking at Naruto as he gobbled all the food Tsunami put on the table. Note to self: ask Tsunami-san to give me the recipe for all these foods. Satsuki thought. Unknown to them, the boy named Inari was glaring at them. Ah, that was delicious. Second best food I have ever tasted. Naruto yells out. Everyone looks at Naruto when said that, and Tsunami looked sad that her cooking was second best. Why is it second best? Tsunami asked, and everyone nodded in agreement with Tsunami, all except Inari and Satsuki. Inari because he could care less, and Satsuki because she knew Naruto's favorite food. That's because ramen is God's food. Naothing beats ramen. Naruto yelled as he put his hands up. Kakashi signed and made a mental note to break him of his ramen. Satsuki was nodding her head, agreeing. Of course no one saw. Tsunami giggled. Tazuna was laughing and Sakura was fangirling over Sasuke. Inari looked at the laughing blonde and the rest of the group as if they didn't give a damn about anything. He finally had enough and stood up and shouted. Why do you guys bother to try so hard? No matter how hard you train, you're no match for Getu's men. No matter what glorious claim you make or how hard you work. When facing the strong, the weak will only end up getting killed. Inari yelled out. Everyone was looking at Inari while Naruto and Satsuki were remembering their past. Well, Naruto was remembering his past while Satsuki was remembering hers and Naruto's. Whatever, kid, I'm not like Naruto said. I'd hate to be like you. You don't know anything about this country yet, you're running around being so noisy. What do you know about me? I'm different from you. You're always clowning around and acting so cheerful, you don't know how hard life can be. Inari shouted at Naruto. Something in Naruto snapped. I really want to kill the brat. Naruto thought. Damn right. Kyuubi said in agreement. So it's okay for you pose as a star of a tragedy and cry all day. Naruto said darkly with a little of Kyuubi's voice. Quote exclamation mark quote. Inari was shocked. Just keep crying all day, idiot. You sissy. Naruto said darkly. Inari cried even more. Naruto got up and left the table with Satsuki looking at his retreating figure. Naruto. You've said enough. The pink-haired banshee screeched. Satsuki was about to go after Naruto until Kakashi told him to leave him alone, that he needed to cool his head. Satsuki was pissed at Kakashi. He was supposed to act as a sensei and go check if he was okay. Tch, he needs to cool his head. Please, what he needs is a friend, and that's me. Actually, I'm his secret lover. Admirer. Slave. Oh, who cares, I'll figure it out later. Satsuki thought as she got up and went after Naruto, disobeying Kakashi's orders. If you call it that. Time skip. 2 weeks had passed since Team 7 came to Wave. Goodbye. Please take off, Naruto. He pushed Ho's body over the limit, he may not be able to move his body. Kakashi said to Tsunami. Okay. Tsunami said happily. Sakura, of course, was happy she got to be with Sasuke for the whole day. Cha, now that annoying Naruto is out of the way, we finally have the chance to ask Sasuke out without any distraction. Cha. Inner Sakura screeched. Cha, Sasuke-kun is mine. Eat that inopig. Sakura shouted in her mind. Satsuki, on the other hand, wanted to stay behind, she wanted to help. She even asked if she could stay back and take care of Naruto. But all she got was, our mission is to guard Tazuna, not Naruto. Naruto is an adult now, he can take of himself. She huffed him annoyance. She wanted to try some techniques she heard from a certain purple-haired Jonin said once when she went to the dango stand. And with that they set to the bridge where their boring mission of protecting and watching Tazuna and other old geezers building the bridge. When they got to the bridge they saw all the workers on the ground. Okay, maybe not boring anymore. Satsuki thought. With Naruto. I overslept. Naruto shouted as he went to Tsunami. Hey, where's everyone? Naruto asked Tsunami as he turned his left and right looking for his team. Oh Naruto, you're already awake. Sensei said you should rest, but Tsunami never got to finish as Naruto ran to his temporary room and took off his pajamas and into his awesome Kill Me orange jumpsuit. I knew it, they left me behind, I'm off. Naruto shouted. Same thing happened with the bandit scene, too tired to explain. At the bridge, Tazuna and Team 7 minus Naruto arrived at the scene of a slaughter. What happened? Tazuna shouted as he started to panic. Cough, spitting out blood, a monster. The worker Tazuna held in his arms said. Can it be? Kakashi thought. Suddenly mist started. This mist. Kakashi thought. Here they come. Kakashi yelled out. Everyone went into position and defending Tazuna. So he is still alive. Kakashi thought. Kakashi sensei, this the hidden mist jutsu, right? Sakura yelled. Satsuki on the other hand was shaking. Yo Kakashi, long time no see. I see you're still with the brats. He's shaking again, poor brat. Zabuza said in the mist. Then suddenly 7 Zabuza appeared. I'm shaking from excitement. Satsuki said as Sasuke with a smirk on his face. HMPH, Zabuza thought. Do it Sasuke. Kakashi said with a eye smile. Both Satsuki and Zabuza clones went to kill each other. Satsuki managed to kill all the water clones. You can't fool me. If I can't do something like this, then Naruto won't accept me. Satsuki thought. It looks like the brats have grown, seems like you have a rival Haku. Zabuza said. It does indeed, said the ninja with a mist hunter nin mask now known as a Haku. It seems my think was right on the mark. Kakashi said. Huh. Sakura said confused. The masked one is obviously working for Zabuza. Kakashi explained. He should take that mask off and face us. Sakura Banshee screamed. I'll fight him. Satsuki said in an emo voice. Huh. Sakura turned to Sasuke. Thricking us with that stupid act. I hate bastards like that the most. Satsuki said. And besides, this bastard is the same name as that boy that met my Naruto-kun in the forest today. I'll kill you for trying to steal my Naruto-kun. Satsuki thought. You're so cool. Sakura said in a fangirl way. She is way too hung up on him, Kakashi thought while looking at Sakura. An impressive young man, even though water clones have 1/10 of the strength the original, still very impressive. Haku said. Yes, but we have gained the first advantage. Go. Zabuza ordered Haku. Hi. Haku said as he disappeared and appeared in front of Satsuki. What is that fast? Satsuki thought. Satsuki managed to block the masked nin attack. He can keep up with Haku's speed. Interesting, Zabuza thought. Sakura stand in front Tazuna and don't leave his side. We'll let Sasuke handle him. Kakashi said. Yeah, Sakura said. I don't want to kill, but you won't stand down, will you? Haku said. Don't be foolish. Satsuki said with a smirk. I don't care if you don't want to kill me. All that matters is that I want to kill you, bitch, for even looking at my Naruto-kun. Satsuki thought. I see, but you won't be able to keep up with my speed next. Especially since I gained 2 advantages. Haku said. 2 advantages? Satsuki asked confused. Yes, the first being that we are surrounded by water and the second is that I have occupied one off your arms. You won't be able to block this. Haku said as he got his left doing hand sign. What? With only one hand? Satsuki thought. One hand? I've never seen something like that before. Kakashi thought. Special jutsu flying water needles, Haku said. The water surrounding them turned to water needles all aimed at Satsuki. Doesn't want to kill. Is that true? Zabuza thought. Sasuke-kun. Sakura screamed. Remember the training. Concentrate my chakra to my feet, Satsuki thought as she brought her free hand in front of her and form a half-ram seal. When the needles came, Satsuki was gone. He's gone. Haku thought, surprised. Then 3 shuriken came towards him. Haku back-flipped 3 times to avoid them. You're pretty slow. From now on you'll only be able to run from my attacks, Satsuki said from behind Haku. Satsuki attacked him, but Haku dodged all the hits except the last kick Satsuki gave him, which was aimed at his stomach. Haku went back to Zabuza to lessen the pain. What? Haku lost in speed. Zabuza thought as he was shocked at what he saw. Looks like I have the advantage in speed, Satsuki said arrogantly. I can't have you underestimating my team by calling them brats. Sasuke is Leaf Village's #1 rook. Sakura is the brightest in the village, Sakura. Cha. And the other one is the show-off, hyperactive, #1 loudest ninja in the village. Kakashi said. Naruto-kun isn't loud and he's not a knucklehead. Besides, he's way better than me. When I get my hands on you, Kakashi, I'll kill you, Satsuki thought as Kakashi felt a shiver. Hehehehe ha 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 ha. Zabuza started to laugh. Satsuki. Haku, do you realize that we will be pushed back? Zabuza said to his apprentice. Yeah, we can't have that, Haku said as he made a sign. What's that chill? Satsuki thought. Special jutsu demonic ice mirrors, Haku said, and the water surrounding Satsuki changed into ice mirrors. What's this jutsu? Kakashi thought as he started to panic. Haku then stepped into the ice mirror and the entire ice mirror had a reflection of Haku. Damn it, Kakashi said as he charged to the mirrors. Hey, your opponent is me. Against that jutsu he's finished, Zabuza said as he blocks Kakashi. Well, shall we begin? Haku said. What are these mirrors? Satsuki said. Now I'll show you my real speed, Haku said. Satsuki was then hit by a barrage of attacks from all direction. Sasuke. Kakashi shouted. Guaa. Satsuki screamed. If you get by, then I'll kill those 2 behind you, Zabuza said. Damn, Kakashi said. Sasuke-kun. Sakura hollered. Ah, Sasuke was still being barraged. I'm sorry, Tazuna-san, I'm going to leave you for a moment, Sakura said as she got out a kunai. Yeah, go, Tazuna said as he saw Sakura in the eye. Sasuke-kun. Sakura screamed as she threw her kunai at the mirror. However, Haku caught. He blocked it, Sakura thought in surprise. But then a shuriken came towards Haku which scratched his mask, making him fall out of the ice mirror. Haku. Yuji. This got the attention of both Zabuza and Kakashi as they looked at the source of the smoke bomb. Who? Sakura asked. Naruto-kun, you came, Satsuki thought as she was lying on the ground bleeding. Hyperactive, #1 loudest ninja, Haku thought. Uzumaki Naruto has finally arrived, Naruto shouted, making his grand appearance. Naruto had just made his entrance, was getting a major headache from Kyuubi. You dumb idiot, I thought I told you to sneak in, not make a dramatic entry. Why oh why did I have to be sealed in a dumb blonde like you? I'd rather be sealed in that bimbo Yamanaka than you right now, Kyuubi yelled in Naruto's head. Alright, already, I get that you're pissed, but what's done is done, Naruto said back to Kyuubi. Kyuubi just puffed her cheeks. If you get killed, I'll bring you back to life and torture you and eat you. Understand? Kyuubi said. Wouldn't you die as well? Naruto said. Kyuubi glared at Naruto, making him shrink in his mindscape. I said. Understand? Kyuubi said viciously. Naruto nodded. Naruto was about to say something but was brought out of mindscape when he heard his Banshee teammate screech. Naruto, you baka, stop trying to show off. You'll never be like Sasuke-kun, Sakura yelled. Sign, what I do to put up with these people? Naruto thought. Your fault. If you had just listened to me, we wouldn't have had to go deaf now, would we? Kyuubi said, still angry. Alright, already, I'll listen to you next time, just let me shine in the spotlight for once, Naruto said back to the fox. Whatever. Huff, Kyuubi said. Zabuza threw some shurikens at Naruto. Naruto was ready to block them, but the shurikens dropped from being hit by Senbon needles. Everyone turned their attention to Haku. Haku, what are you doing? Zabuza asked. Zabuza-sama, these kids, let me fight them my way. Haku said. So you don't want me to interfere? Haku, you're too soft. Fine, have it your way. Zabuza said. Arigato Zabuza-sama. Haku said. Naruto helps Sasuke out with Zabuza's partner. He has a Kekai Genkai, so watch out. Kakashi said as he blocked Zabuza's strike. Yosh. Let's get this party started, Naruto said as he fist bumped the sky. Naruto-kun looks awesome. Ouch. Sasuke thought as he got hit by another Senbon from the ice nin. Damn this bastard. I was just about to imagine Naruto confessing to me. I'm going kill him, Satsuki thought with fire in her eyes. Haku was looking at Naruto and remembering their conversation. Yo, Sasuke-tem, I came here to save you, Naruto whispered to Satsuki. Everyone face-faulted except Kakashi, and Zabuza they face-palmed. Haku and Satsuki were surprised. Baka, you're supposed to help Sasuke-kun not get in his way, Sakura Banshee screeched. Satsuki on the other hand was blushing up a storm due to Naruto and her face being so close together. In Naruto-kun's face is so close. Is he going to kiss me? Satsuki thought and was about kiss Naruto but was interrupted. I see you came, ninja-san, Haku said. Naruto turned his head. Of course. How do you expect a party to start without the main guest? Naruto shouted. Is that a rhetorical question? Haku asked. I don't know, Naruto said while think what a rhetorical question is. Enough, just fight, Zabuza shouted. Haku nodded as he took out his Senbon needles ready to attack Satsuki and Naruto. This will be your final battle, Haku said to Satsuki. Hey, yeah, right. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Naruto shouted as 5 Naruto clones appeared and surrounded him and Satsuki. Do you really think clones will save you? Haku said as he moved through the mirrors, destroying the clones in the process and putting needles in both Naruto and Satsuki. Well, I was sort hoping it would, Naruto said as he turned to Satsuki. Oi-tem, why didn't you melt the ice with your Kaden Jutsu? Naruto asked, thinking that the Uchiha was stupid. I did, but the ice is a Kekkei Genkai and can't be melted, Satsuki said, almost disappointed at herself for not being any use to Naruto. I see, Naruto said to himself. Kit, use the new jutsu I taught you, Kyuubi said. Are you sure? I mean, Tem said that fur jutsus aren't going to work, Naruto said. No, this one will. This jutsu can burn through anything. It is a jutsu that is on the same level as Amaterasu, only you don't need a blasted Sharingan to use it, Kyuubi said. Right. But I'll use it later. I want to let this guy's guard down so that when I use it he'll be killed in the process, Naruto said to Kyuubi, and Kyuubi nodded in agreement. Sounds good, Kyuubi said. The battle between Haku and Naruto and Satsuki kept going, and Satsuki was getting tired from all the jumping and avoiding. She noticed that Naruto wasn't tired at all. She was surprised. He was dodging and using clones left and right, and yet he still isn't tired. I used my fireball jutsu like 2 times and I'm tired as hell, Satsuki thought, amazed at Naruto's stamina. I wonder how long he lasts in bed with that stamina, Satsuki thought as her mind was drifting off. Naruto on the other hand had chills running down his back. Someone is thinking of doing perverted things to me, Naruto thought. Maybe it's that purple-haired vixen, Kyuubi said. Which one? Naruto asked. The one that controls snakes. I mean, when she looks at you I can see her undressing you with her eyes, Kyuubi said. Don't remind me. She almost raped me when we played hide and seek a year ago, Naruto said, shivering from the memory. Ah, good tea, Kyuubi was interrupted by Haku. Becoming a true shinobi is difficult for me. If possible I wouldn't want to kill you, nor want you to kill me. But if you come at me I can destroy my heart in an instant and become a true shinobi. This bridge is the place where we fight, to connect to our dreams. Haku started his speech. Kit, kill this bastard for interrupting me, the Nine Tails, but sadly she was interrupted again. Me for my dream. And you for yours. Please don't hate me. Haku said. Kit, set me free, I wanta. Alas, Kyuubi was interrupted again. She could only growl. I want to protect the people that are precious to me. To work for that person. To fight for that person. To make that person's dream come true. That is my dream. For that I can become a shinobi and I can kill you. Haku said as everyone was looking at him except Kyuubi was glaring at him, thinking of 100 ways to torture him and kill him. Sasuke-kun, beat that bastard. Sakura shouted. Sakura, don't egg then on. Kakashi said. What? Why? Sakura asked. Even if they could beat that technique they won't be able to beat the boy. Kakashi said sadly. What do you mean? Sakura asked. Hey, they don't have the will to destroy their hearts and kill another person. Haku knows the meaning of true pain of being a shinobi. A real shinobi can't be created from a peaceful village like your village. Because you can't gain the most important thing to become a shinobi. The experience of killing. Zabuza said, laughing at the end. Oi, no brows, shut up. Naruto shouted. Zabuza stopped laughing. Oi Gaki, what did you say? Zabuza said mincingly. I said shut up. How would you know I didn't kill anyone in my life? You don't know me. Naruto said. Watch it Gaki or I'll skin you alive. Zabuza said. Yeah right. Naruto said. You think you're strong Gaki? Zabuza asked Naruto. Hell yes. If I'm not strong then I can't become Hokage, no brows. Sheesh, I thought you being AA rank nin would know that. Naruto said, and Zabuza was getting pissed. That brat. Zabuza thought. Ninja-san, I think you should stop talking. Haku said, getting worried for the young Jinchuriki. Oi Gaki, you can't even get out of Haku's ice mirrors, what makes you think you can talk big? Zabuza said, trying stay calm. Kakashi at first was going to tell Naruto to stay quiet, but when he noticed Zabuza getting angry he stopped himself. Naruto's taunting is getting on Zabuza's nerve. Now Zabuza's sure to make mistakes. Keep on going Naruto. Kakashi thought, getting ready to strike when Zabuza loses control of his emotion. You mean this pathetic waste of chakra? Please, I can destroy this anytime I want. Naruto said. Naruto baka, shut up. Stop showing off. Sakura Banshee screeched. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Sakura, but she's right, Naruto is pushing it. What is he planning to do? Satsuki thought, getting scared for Naruto. Oh, looks like you got a big head. Zabuza said. At least I have eyebrows on my big head. Naruto countered. You damn Gaki. Zabuza said, charging at Naruto, but was stopped when Kakashi blocked it with his kunai and kicked Zabuza in the guts, pushing him back. Naruto, that's enough. Don't taunt him any further. Kakashi said. How am I taunting when I'm telling the truth? Naruto said with his hands behind his head in a carefree nature. Naruto, get serious. Kakashi said. TCH whatever. Naruto said as he faced Haku's direction and was doing a number of hand signs, finally landing on the tiger symbol. Let's do this. Datbeo. Kaden. Sea of white flames. Naruto shouted. As he connected his index finger and thumb and blowing through the hole. People were shocked at the jutsu Naruto used. Naruto blew out white flames instead of reddish, yellowish, and orange color. Haku was too shocked at the color of the flames that he didn't notice that his ice was melting. When he did, it was too late to jump to another. Haku jumped out and landed on the ground. But he didn't get out unharmed. Haku's left hand and left leg was burnt. How did he burn the ice? Were the thoughts of all the people present, except for one. Naruto-kun is so cool. Ho, how did you melt my ice? Haku asked, scared while wincing from the burn he received. He not so tough now, huh? How I melted it? Well, isn't it obvious I used fire? Come on, how can you be a true shinobi if you don't know that ice can melt if the surrounding is heated? Naruto said. That's it, Kit. Show that bastard more fear. Then burn him alive. Ha ha ha, you see that bastard, that's your punishment for interrupting me, the Nine Tails F. Kyuubi was interrupted again, but this time not by Haku. There is no way can Naruto Baka do that. Yeah, I bet it was Sasuke-kun. Yeah, it was Sasuke-kun. Sakura screeched. Kill that bitch. Kyuubi said in rage. Naruto was sweat dropping. Wow, you're really not having a good day, are you? Naruto said. His only answer was a growl. How did you melt my ice? My ice was made from my Kekkei Genkai. It is impossible to melt it, let alone scratch it. Haku yelled. Find my jutsu Kaden. Sea of White Flames is a jutsu that rivals Amaterasu. It has the same effect, has to burn everything. However, unlike Amaterasu, my jutsu can be put out with large supply of water. Naruto said, which only got him confused looks and one look of admiration from the person he least expected, Sasuke. What the hell? Naruto thought as he looked at Sasuke. What are you talking about? What is Amaterasu? And what do you mean unlike Amaterasu your jutsu can be put out? Haku asked. Naruto signed. Idiots. Why do I even have to explain myself anyway? Not like anyone's going to believe me. The dope of the village can do a SS rank jutsu that can burn the whole village to ashes. Naruto thought. It makes you look smart for a change. Kyuubi said. Whatever. Naruto replied and went back to answering their questions. Amaterasu is a Sharingan technique that releases eternal black flames. These flames will never die out and will keep burning for eternity. Not even if you pour the ocean will the flames be put out. So if Amaterasu to be used on you, not even your ashes would remain. Naruto said, shocking everyone. Ha, look at those fools' faces. I wish you had a camera to take a picture. Kyuubi said. Naruto mentally nodded. Remind me next time. Naruto said. The same thing with my jutsu. Except you can put it out, but you're going to probably need 5 Tobirama to put it out. Both jutsus are similar, like they can burn anything in their path, but only difference is one needs the Sharingan. And one can be put out and the other can't. Naruto said as he saw his audience gape like fishes, all except Sasuke. Why the hell is he looking at me like that? Naruto thought, and Kyuubi snickered. So cool. This proves it. I'm going to bear Naruto-kun's babies. Once we go back to Konoha, I'll have Hokage-sama make a marriage contract between us. Satsuki thought. When did Naruto learn a technique like that? Maybe if I ask, he'll teach Sasuke. Kakashi thought. Naruto Baka can show intelligence. Sakura thought. Cha, he's smarter than you. Inner Sakura shouted. No, he's not. I'm the smartest in the academy. Sakura mentally shouted. Cha, you don't even understand what Naruto said about those jutsus. He's smarter than you, ha ha ha. Inner Sakura said. We didn't even learn those in the academy. That's right, I bet he's making this up. He's trying to look cooler than Sasuke. Ha, that's it. Sakura said, losing her mind. This brat is going to be trouble. I need to kill Kakashi fast and then go after him. I thought the Uchiha brat was going to be an obstacle, but the loudmouth brat is stronger than everyone present. If he uses that jutsu again, Haku's going to die. Zabuza thought as he increased the fog around them. I can't believe this. I failed you, Zabuza-sama. Haku thought, crying behind his mask. Yosh, let's finish this fight, Naruto said as he ran forward to attack Haku. No, not yet. Even if he destroyed my ice, I can still be of some use to Zabuza-sama. By killing his teammate, Haku thought as he blocked Naruto's fist and threw him backwards. Haku took out Senbon needles and threw them at Naruto, aiming at his pressure points. Satsuki saw this and went in to cover her love. The needles hit Satsuki and she was coughing up blood. Naruto, who was behind Satsuki, looked at her and was shocked. Oi, tem what? But Naruto then looked at Satsuki and saw that she had taken the needles that was aimed at him. Tem, why would you? Naruto said. It's because I love you. I wish me and you could have at least gotten married before I died. But I can't even have one of my wishes granted. Satsuki thought. I don't know. Satsuki said, smiling. Satsuki dropped down and Naruto caught her. Naruto, I wanted to find my brother and ask him why he killed the clan. Cough. Naruto, can you do that for me? Satsuki said. Naruto nodded. Is this the first time you see a comrade die in front of you? Haku asked. Shut up. Naruto said. This is the life of a true shinobi. You kill or are killed. Your friend understood that and saved you. Haku said. Shut up. What do you understand? Sasuke was a jack and he had a stick up his but he was still strong. He still followed his dream even when he saw his family die in front of him. Naruto said as his hair was covering his eyes. Naruto stared at Haku. I'm going to kill you. Same thing happens and yes he crashes through an ice mirror mostly because Naruto didn't aim at all the ice he aimed at the one that Haku was in. Skip to Haku dying and Zabuza breaking both his arms. Naruto, where is Sasuke-kun? Sakura shouted to Naruto. Naruto gave a sad look and looked away from Sakura. Sakura saw this and was scared. No. No way Sasuke-kun can't. Sakura started crying as she ran to where Satsuki was laying down. Tazuna followed her so that she didn't get in trouble by her sensei for disobeying his orders. When they reached Sasuke's body, Sakura was crying, took Sasuke's head on her lap. I loved him. I really wanted to help him fulfill his dream and be with by his side. But now, Sakura said crying. Tazuna looked away. This is the life of a shinobi. Tazuna thought, remembering what Haku was talking about. Even though Sakura was crying, she let her perverted mind work. Her hand was touching Sasuke's and inside her mind she was laughing that she was able to touch his body, but then noticed something. Huh? Sakura thought as she stopped crying and looked at Sasuke. Well, I see you can't even perform one simple job, Zabuza. Ha ha ha, you look pathetic. People call the demon, but all I see is demon wannabe. Gato said as his followers all join in. Gato then looks to Haku's dead body. And this bastard, I still have to pay you back for breaking my arm. Gato said as he kicked Haku's face. Naruto was getting angry at the fat bastard. He then glared at Zabuza. Why aren't you doing anything? Haku protected you, he believed you, and yet you're letting that fat hole taunt his dead body. He threw away his life for you. Without his own dreams, to die as a tool, you bastard, you're worse than scum. You're. Naruto shouted crying but was interrupted by Kakashi covering his mouth. Enough, Naruto. Kakashi said. But Naruto was interrupted by Zabuza. Kid, not another word, brat. Zabuza said as he started to cry. You don't need to say another word. Zabuza said. Naruto looked at Zabuza, tears coming down his own face. Kid, it pained him to have to fight you. Haku not only fought for me, not also for you guys too. He was too kind. You may be right, I am scum. A shinobi is still human. Not an emotionless tool. I've lost. Kid, let me borrow your kunai. Zabuza said. Naruto was surprised but nodded. He took out his kunai and threw it to Zabuza, who caught it with his mouth. Zabuza ran towards Gato, ready to kill him. Gato ran back to his mercenaries. That's enough, kill them. Gato said. You got it. One badly injured ninja can't do anything against us. One of Gato's followers said. But then noticed the shadow that formed behind Zabuza. A demon. The one that talked thought. Zabuza cut through the crowd getting stabbed and cuts, but he finally got to where Gato was. If you want to join your friend, then go yourself. Gato said, scared. I may not be able to go to where Haku is, but I'm going to take you with to hell. Don't worry, I'll give you a tour. Even the demon of the mist can become a real devil in hell. This will be fun. Zabuza shouted as he cut off Gato's head. This is goodbye, Haku. Thank you for everything. Zabuza thought. Naruto saw this and was looking away. Don't look away. This is the end of a man who lived a difficult life. Kakashi said. Naruto nodded. Yeah. Naruto said sadly. Hi. A screech from their back made them turn their attention. What the hell is wrong now? Kakashi groaned as he looked at his pink-haired student who wasn't even in danger. SSS Sasuke KK kunai is, and she fainted. Tazuna was gaping like a fish. What's going on? Kakashi shouted and Tazuna just pointed down on Sasuke's body. Sasuke groaned and stood up. Which made both Naruto and Kakashi pop their eyes out. Shut up, I'm trying to dream about my wedding with Naruto-kun. Satsuki shouted. then looked around and saw her teammates that were awake and Tazuna stare at her. When she noticed Naruto stare at her, she blushed. What are you staring at? She said timidly. Naruto and Kakashi just looked at her and pointed. Satsuki looked at where they were pointing and saw that her t-shirt was pulled up and she was shooing her. She covered them and screamed while squatted down. Kyaaaaa. Satsuki screamed. Naruto-kun saw me XD and Kakashi-sensei and Tazuna-san TT. Satsuki thought with anime tears coming down. Both Naruto and Kakashi were broken out of their trance when they heard Gato's men talk. Oi, you bastard, killed it out meal ticket. Now how are we supposed to eat? One of the men said. Hey, even if Gato died we can still take whatever we want from the village. And these ninjas are already exhausted, we easily kill them. Another shout, which was followed by loud cheers from the group, and charged at them. Naruto turned towards Kakashi. Hey sensei, don't you have any jutsus to help us in this situation? Naruto asked. I can't after the Chidori, summoning jutsu, and Sharingan I ran out chakra. Kakashi said. Then an arrow came shooting down between the two groups. The charging group stopped and looked who shot the arrow. They were surprised at who it was. If you come any further to our island, the citizens of this country will come at you with everything we've got. The citizen of Wave shouted. In the front of the group was Inari. Inari, you. Tazuna said, ready to cry. Inari. Naruto shouted. A hero comes at the last second, right? Inari said with a big smile on his face. Of course. Now let me help as well. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Naruto said as 5 Narutos appeared. Gato's men was scared. I can always use that, it might fool them. Kakashi thought as he put his fingers in a cross. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Kakashi version. Kakashi said as a large amount of Kakashi appeared. Gato's followers said. Now you want some of this? Kakashi said. No we don't. One of Gato's followers said. Let's get out of here. Another said as all of Gato's men left running and screaming. Both Naruto's and Kakashi's clones dispelled, leaving a large amount of smoke giving of. Kakashi walked over to Zabuza. It looks like it's over, Kakashi. Zabuza said. Yes. Kakashi answered. Kakashi, I have a request, Zabuza said. What is it? Kakashi said. I want to see his face. Zabuza said. Sure. Kakashi replied as he put his Hayate to cover his Sharingan eye. Kakashi picked up Zabuza's body and went over to Haku. Then it suddenly started to snow. It's snowing. Naruto said, surprised. Snow at this time of the year? One of the villagers said. Haku, are you crying? Zabuza thought. Kakashi put Zabuza beside Haku. Thanks Kakashi. Zabuza said. You have always been by my side Haku. So this time I'd like to be beside yours. Zabuza thought as he tried to put his hand on Haku. If I could, I would like to go to the same place as you Haku. Zabuza said, and it started to snow more. He was born in a snowy village. Naruto said as he started to cry. I see he was a boy as pure as snow. Kakashi said. You will be able to go Zabuza, together. Kakashi thought. Back at Tazuna's house. So now on to business. How long are you going to stay in that henge tem? Naruto said, pissed that the arrogant Uchiha was using his jutsu. Satsuki mumbled. Didn't catch that. Naruto said as he and Kakashi both got close to Satsuki. I was born a girl. This isn't a henge. Sasuke was a henge. Satsuki yelled. Both Naruto's and Kakashi's world shattered. So everything I knew was, Naruto said. I told you, didn't I? Kyuubi was laughing her off and rolling her cage. You knew about this. Naruto yelled, which scared Satsuki and made everyone in the room stare straight him. Oi Gaki, keep it down. Kyuubi said, still laughing. Naruto-kun, are you okay? Satsuki asked, worried. Naruto looked at her. Yeah, just talking to myself. Naruto laughed nervously. But then he noticed what Satsuki said. Naruto-kun. Naruto thought. Sasuke, did you just use kun in my name? Naruto asked. Satsuki nodded. It's Satsuki Naruto-kun. Satsuki said, scared and sad. Why yeah, Naruto said, stuttering. What is wrong with her? She's acting like Hinata except she's not fainting. Naruto thought. That's because she likes you, Kyuubi said. No, that's wrong. We're both Gaizen, but Naruto was interrupted. Hey blonde, take a good look. Does that look like a boy? No, she has an big one for her age. And if you ask politely she might let you see her nether region. Kyuubi said, still laughing. Naruto looked at Satsuki, then at her, and it was true, it was pretty big for someone their age. And then looked more down and blushed, and smoke, invisible smoke, was coming of his head. Nay Naruto-kun, Satsuki said as she shook Naruto. Naruto then looked at their position. Satsuki was sitting on his lap. But because of that he was able to see her through her blue kimono that Tsunami gave her. Naruto had a nosebleed and pushed her off. WYA or W or YUH, hiding your gender? Naruto said, trying to get back to the original topic. That's true. And why didn't you tell me? I'm your sensei, I should know this. Kakashi said. Satsuki looked down. I didn't tell anyone, not even Hokage-sama knows. I did it because of the CRA. Satsuki said. Why? Gigi can keep a secret. And what's CRA? Naruto said, getting his composure back. Yes he can, but he can't keep any secret from the civilian council. The CRA is the Clan Restoration Act. It's a law that affects a clan that is almost extinct. If the last member of the clan is male, then he is supposed to have multiple wives. But if the last member of the clan is female, they use her as a breeding machine and she won't be able to see the light of day. Satsuki said sadly. Naruto and Kakashi pitied Satsuki. Naruto looked at Kakashi to check if what she said was real and he nodded. Naruto was shocked. What kind of bullshit law is that? Who made that stupid law anyway? Naruto asked and Tsunami agreed at that the law was stupid. Kakashi signed. It was the Nadaime Hokage, Tobirama Senju. The council was furious when Hashirama Senju, the Shogai Hokage, died and took the Mokuden with him. The council thought the Mokuden was a Kekkei Genkei and they thought that Tobirama could pass the genes on, so he made the law about the whole multiple wives. Then some of the clan heads agreed that if last member was female they would be used as breeding machines. Which by the way ruined the Kurama clan. Now none of them can even activate their bloodlines without dying. Kakashi explained. Naruto then stared at Satsuki. Then if they find out your real gender you're going to. Naruto couldn't finish his sentence, he was too disgusted with the council. Satsuki nodded. I wanted to be with the person I loved, not some pervert that just wants fame and. Satsuki said, looking at Naruto with a blush. Then I think we should kill Sakura. Naruto stated. Which got him surprised looks from everyone. Wah. Naruto, do you know what you said? Kakashi yelled. Yes I do. But Kakashi sensei, you know as well as I do that no one deserves that kind of treatment. Even said person was a stuck-up bastard. And not only that, once we get in, Sakura is going Banshee screech the whole news around the village and Satsuki-chan won't be able to be a ninja. Naruto said. Satsuki was blushing and crying at what Naruto said. He cares about me even though I was a jackass. Satsuki thought. And besides, you know Sakura is useless. I'd rather have Hinata on this team than her. And Hinata fainting can actually become useful in some missions, whereas screeching and destroying eardrums will only piss the enemy off and kill us. Naruto said, and Kakashi had no choice but agree to that. Even Satsuki agreed. He's right. No matter how much I hate that pervert white-eyed bitch, she is better than Howler Monkey here. Satsuki though, while looking at the unconscious Banshee. That is true, I mean when Obito fainted that time he saved our butts on that retrieval mission. Kakashi thought, remembering his genin days. That may be true, but killing a fellow ninja will give you the death penalty. Kakashi said. Don't worry, we can say that she was raped by Gato and as she felt ashamed of herself he committed seppuku. Naruto said, grinning with Kyuubi, who thought the idea was good. And Satsuki thought the idea was good. Still they would want the body. Kakashi tried to reason. Fine, let's say we burned down Gato's hideout and didn't know that she was inside because we assumed that she was following Sasuke. Naruto said, getting irritated that Kakashi was trying to stop him from killing the Howler Monkey once and for all so that they could have peace and quiet. Not like anyone's going to miss her. People would be happy that the Howler Monkey died. Naruto thought. Naruto. See, Kakashi said. Fine, but we better think of something so that Sakura doesn't go blab this all over the village. Naruto said, giving up temporarily. He was still thinking of ways to get rid of her so that it doesn't point to him. That's true. But wait, Satsuki, aren't you allowed walking around freely as a girl? I mean, you're a ninja of the village. That means only the Hokage can make decisions for you, not the council or anybody. Kakashi stated. Which, when Satsuki thought about it, made sense. Why didn't I think about that? I could have gotten rid of the fangirls when I graduated and I could have confessed to Naruto without any problems. Satsuki thought and started banging her head on the table. Tsunami giggled at Satsuki's antics. And also, Tsunami-san, why aren't you surprised about this? Kakashi asked, and Naruto agreed with him. Yeah, the moment we brought Satsuki we were already here with 20 outfits. Naruto asked. Oh, that I figured it out on the first night I saw her. Tsunami said, I smiling. Naruto and Kakashi. Confused face. They looked at Satsuki to see if that was true. Satsuki nodded. It's true, she was the first person to find out. Satsuki said, and both Naruto and Kakashi were on their hands and knees, depressed and repeating. I'm a failure as a ninja. Over and over. They stopped when they heard Sakura moving. Oh crap, what do we do? Naruto started to panic, as did Satsuki. Quick, Satsuki, put your genjutsu back on. Kakashi said hurriedly. Satsuki nodded and did what she was told. Sakura woke up. Nad looked at her surroundings and saw Tsunami and her team. What happened? Sakura asked. You fainted during the middle of the battle while guarding Tazuna. Kakashi said in a fake angry voice, but it worked since Sakura was starting to get scared. Komenasai sensei. Sakura apologized, then remembered her touching Sasuke's. She saw Satsuki and went over to her and put her hands on Satsuki's chest. It was flat. Sakura, what are you doing? Satsuki said, getting angry in Sasuke's voice. Sakura realized that she may have had a dream and apologized repeatedly. Satsuki was angry that Sakura touched her 2 times. I wish Naruto-kun would touch my. Satsuki thought disappointedly. Kakashi filled in on Sakura what happened after she fainted. And Satsuki, Kakashi and Naruto were having private conversations as to what to do when they got home. They agreed that the Hokage needed to know this and see if he could do anything to help. Although Naruto wanted to be far away from Satsuki or nay girls, he became friends with Satsuki for real this time. While the 3 were helping Tazuna with the bridge, Kakashi told Sakura to train in the forest because she did nothing the whole time they were fighting. Sakura had to be dragged to the forest by Kakashi because she didn't want to be separated by her Sasuke-kun. While Sakura was out training, Tsunami was playing dress up with Satsuki. Occasionally Naruto joined in with his no jutsu. Which, by the way, gave Satsuki new ideas. Some ideas included Naruto, Satsuki, and Naruto in a threesome, or Naruto, Satsuki and clone hanged as Makoto Uchiha, Satsuki's mother, in a threesome. She even made a mental note to ask Naruto to do a transformation like that for her so that they could have lesbian. I don't know how to lessen the perversion of that line, sorry. TT. It was the day the bridge was finished and Team 7 was leaving. The whole village came and was saying their farewells to Team 7. Inari was in the front trying hard not to cry. Yo Inari, it's alright to cry as long as you're happy. Naruto said. I'm not crying, but it's okay for you to cry, Ni-san. Inari said. Are you kidding me? Shinobis don't cry. Naruto said as he turned his back to him. Yeah, then what are you doing, dumbass? Sakura thought, but then turned her attention to Satsuki. Everyone waved goodbye. Hey Tu-san, what are you going to name the bridge? Tsunami asked. What about the awesome Tazuna Bridge to Heaven? Tazuna said. Hell no. came the reply of many people. Tazuna was moping and saying, but I built the bridge. How about the great Naruto bridge? Inari suggested. Lot of people agreed. That's good, but I feel like we should call the awesome Tazuna bridge to heaven, Tazuna said. No. With Team 7 in front of the gates of Konoha. Finally home. Naruto shouted as both Azumo and Katetsu the Eternal Chunin laughed at his antics. Go to have you back, Naruto-kun. Katetsu said. Good to be back. You have no idea how much of a headache I have from Howler Monkey. Naruto said, pointing to Sakura. Hey! Sakura yelled. Ha ha ha, I can imagine. Azumo said while taking his finger out of his ears. Alright, let's Sakura, you can go home. Sata, Sasuke and Naruto, come with me to the Hokage. Kakashi said. Sakura was about to yell that where Sasuke goes she goes, but Kakashi told her they would be talking about porn with Hokage, which made her go home. Kakashi signed and went with Satsuki and Naruto to meet the Hokage. Hokage room. Team 7 minus Sakura entered the Hokage room. They were able to catch the Hokage not doing his duty but reading Icha. The Hokage put the book away and smiled at the team. Where's Sakura? The Hokage asked. She's dead, Naruto stated. Naruto. Kakashi. Hey, if you let me finish I would have said in my mind. Naruto said. Kakashi signed. The Hokage chuckled at the scene. This is just like Miento and Kakashi when Kakashi said Obito died. Hiruzen though to the time where he had little paperwork. Anyway, how was the mission? Hiruzen asked. Awesome. Naruto said, fist bumping the sky. Hiruzen gave a chuckle. Naruto. Kakashi signed and said, Hokage-sama, we have something to tell you. This was just the beginning, the real secret will unfold in the next episode. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hit the bell icon so you'll be the first to see what happens next. See you again in the next journey of Uzumaki Empire 2.0.